Good evening. The following is a live broadcast for the City of Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman. Board meetings are regularly scheduled on the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 7 p.m. In advance of the BMA meeting, a copy of the agenda is available for inspection at the Kingsport Public Library, City Hall, or online at kingsporttn.gov.
Good evening. Welcome to the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman business meeting. This is the meeting where we actually vote. And I'm going to do something a little different from the normal routine because it's National Police Week, and I want to recognize our police. We have Chief Dale Phipps, who's always here, and we have Officer Lawson, and Officer Lawson represents the rest of the force. And we always have a policeman here, I guess, to make sure I don't get kidnapped or something. I can't imagine why they do that, but and I just appreciate the police, and I know that Kingsport citizens do too. But the first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. It'll be led by the New Vision Youth, of which Miss Johnny Mae Swaggerty leads this group. And then please remain standing for the invocation led by Reverend Jack Edwards, who is a United Methodist pastor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we pray. God, we thank you for this day. We have been blessed with the beauty of it. We thank you for these who serve tonight and our board of mayor and aldermen. And we do thank you for our police department that's so efficient, and for all who work in our city to make this a better place to live. We pray for guidance and direction to be given to the BMA tonight as they make decisions that impact all of us. And again, we thank you for those who are willing to give of their time and to serve us faithfully. So just bless this time together, for it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. Reverend Edwards, thank you for your many contributions to the church and the community. Johnny Mae, thank you. They're leading out there, probably going to do something good. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Mayor Scholl.
Here.
Vice Mayor George.
Here.
Alderman Cooper.
Here.
Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Montgomery.
Here.
Alderman Alterman.
Present.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. By my reckoning, all 7 elected members of the board are here, as well as the city manager and appropriate staff. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have 4 recognitions or presentations on our agenda tonight. The first one is the Keep Kingsport Beautiful Beautification Awards, and Sharon Hayes will walk us through that. Sharon?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me all right? All right. I want to say that it's great to kick off the Beautification Awards this year. The awards are sponsored by Boehm Landscape, and we really appreciate their sponsorship. Let's see if I can figure out this clicker. Okay. This is the home of Bob and Janet Batts, 1208 Tuscany Way. This beautiful home is oozing with curbside appeal, with areas of pink, purple, and yellow flowers. Vibrant azaleas and rhododendron anchor the primary landscape in front of the house. A beautiful rising sun redbud surrounded by purple phlox makes a beautiful centerpiece for the lawn. The landscape is completed with tastefully placed flags, signs, and small concrete rabbits. It is indeed a welcoming home in the neighborhood. There's some more pictures of it. This is the home of Ricky and Sandy Bradley, 1505 Redwood Drive. This home is neat and tidy with a well-maintained lawn featuring a Japanese maple and various plantings in front of the house. This is the home of Melissa McCoy, 243 Riverwatch Circle. The home features a well-maintained yard with crepe myrtles, holly trees, and begonias that accent the color of the home. The front porch is welcoming to all who visit. This is the home of Leonard and Tony Ball, 2121 Green Lane. This beautiful brick home features an inviting landscape with baskets of colorful flowers and lovely plants in a well-maintained yard. This is the home of Teresa Rollins Fanning at 4536 Orbank Road. This yard features a variety of plants, shrubs, and trees. Landscaping stones surround a bed of natural rock and plants. This is the home of Martin and Amy Carlson at 3901 Leaf Point. The property features stacked stone edging around the entire landscaped area. There are evergreen plantings with multiple textures and varying shades of green. The front porch is welcoming with rocking chairs flanking both sides of the front door. Plants including variegated lyre rope, hostas, nandina, burning bush, arborvitae, junipers, spirea, and roses. This is the home of Larry and Teresa Estep at 1032 Wellington Boulevard. This beautiful home has lovely rhododendron bushes offering loads of color in the spring. The church winner for May is First Broad Street, United Methodist Church, 100 East Church Street on Church Circle. The Ammons entrance is on the Watauga Street side and is a beautiful space transformed into a memorial garden in memory of Louise Ammons, who served as the church organist for 52 years. The memorial garden includes aster, delphinium, blue angel hosta, praying hosta, crepe myrtle, arborvitae, and more. The business winner for May is Bank of Tennessee's branch at 1708 North Eastman Road. The landscape features bright yellow pansies and various other plantings at the entrance to the bank. Tammy Housewright is the branch manager. This is the before picture of the redevelopment winner for May. John and Dolores Bertusu bought this property at 124 Commerce Street in downtown Kingsport, and they went to work completing major facade and redevelopment improvements, including concrete repair, painting, stone replacement, demolition, new HVAC and boiler units, as well as updated windows, flooring, and more. Going to see the after picture? Right there's the after picture. It's a beautiful, beautiful redevelopment project. And that's the inside. And that is it. And I would love for everybody who is here to represent the winners tonight, if they would stand and be recognized. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you to all the folks that got an award tonight for this particular category. Those homes really look nice. The Bertusos are having a party afterwards, I think. No, but we really appreciate what you do to just make the city shine. Thank you very much. Mr. City Manager.
Our next recognition will be for Public Works Week, which is May 15th through May 21st, and Alderman Phillips will be presenting that. I'll ask Michael Thompson, Steve Leonard, Rodney Dye, David Ramey, and Rob Johnson, if they would please come up to the podium with Alderman Phillips.
You took half my presentation saying their names, but it's all right.
You can say it again.
Okay, that'd be great. While they're coming up, I'm honored to make this presentation because these are my people. And I have a funny story. The other day, I went to my parents' house to borrow a trailer from the backyard and went through the back gate and didn't think anything about it. And I was down at the apartments doing some work. And I get a phone call from Rodney, and he's like, "Hey, your mom's dogs are running down the street." And I had forgot to lock the gate. The dogs had pushed the gate open, and they were running down the street. But that's how good these guys are. Rodney had my number, called me, and I got back to Ridgefields. And if no one says anything, my mother still does not know that happened. So keep it between us. So, and I know she's not watching, so I'm not worried. Not worried at all. So I've got a proclamation here to read in honor of Public Works Week, and then I'll tell you about a couple of things we got going on as well. Whereas public works infrastructure, facilities, and services are of vital importance to the health, safety, economy, and overall well-being of our community, and whereas such facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, engineers, and administrators representing all levels of government who are responsible for and must plan, design, construct, operate, and maintain the public works facilities essential to serve our citizens, and whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works functions is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform, and whereas it is in the public interest for citizens, civic leaders, and children in Kingsport to learn and understand the importance of vital public works programs such as drinking water, sanitary and storm sewers, streets and highways, public buildings, and solid waste collection and disposal. And whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Therefore, Patrick W. Scholl, Mayor of the City of Kingsport, and on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Alderman of the City of Kingsport, do hereby proclaim May 15th through 21st as Public Works Week in the City of Kingsport, Tennessee, and I call upon all citizens and civic leaders in this community to gain knowledge of and maintain a progressive interest in the public works needs and programs vital to our everyday lives, and to recognize the daily contributions which public works officials make to ensure our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. So I want to present this to you all. And then I also want to mention that everything we just talked about, you can come down to Public Works Day, which is this Friday. I will be taking my daughter out of school at noon so we can make it. She only goes till 2, but from noon to 2 is nap time, so we're fine. But from 10 a.m. to 2 at the Kingsport Farmers Market, and come down for Public Works Day. I know that it is Betsy's grandchildren. It's one of their favorite days. Colette loves to go and play on all the machinery down there. So it's a really good time, and you get an understanding of exactly a little bit of what these gentlemen do. And, you know, they are the backbone of this city, and you think about where we'd be without our garbage picked up, or, you know, clean drinking water. And so my dad has a saying about, you know, he says, you want to see people mad, don't pick up their garbage for a few weeks and see what happens. So we really appreciate everything y'all do. And does anybody want to say anything? They're a quiet bunch. All right, thank you all.
Public Works Day is not just for children. It's got a lot of a lot of really good equipment, and it does show how they do a lot of work. It is a lot of fun. It's not just for kids. Get to ride the little bucket.
Public Works folks, thank you very much. We do appreciate all that you do for us. Mr. Seamander.
All right, our next item is a proclamation recognizing Chamber of Commerce Day, May 22nd. Mayor Shaw will be going to the podium, and I'd ask that Ramona Jackson and Miles Burdine, Bob Fegans, Nicole Austin, and if Stephanie's here, I didn't see if Stephanie came in or not, if you all would come up. And Higgins, of course, yeah. Come up to the podium and join the mayor, please.
Okay, you don't hide behind the folks. But listen, this is a real treat for me to recognize the chamber. I'll get this microphone over. This is their 75th anniversary. Now, I wasn't born until 9 years after J. Fred Johnson died, but the old timers here, so to speak, they talk about J. Fred Johnson as a one-man chamber. And I think he showed us the way because a bunch of businessmen got together, 1947, got together and said, you know, we need to have a chamber, you know, we need to represent business interests. And they do represent business interests very well, but it's not just that. There's a lot to what they do just to help keep the community come together. They have leadership programs. They welcome new businesses. They sponsor the 4th of July parade for us. They just do a wonderful array of things that we really appreciate. So I'm going to read this commendation, and then I got a surprise for them. Whereas the Kingsport Chamber is celebrating 75 years of serving the Kingsport community, and whereas the Kingsport Chamber works with businesses, merchants, and industry to advance the civic, economic, industrial, professional, and cultural life of the city of Kingsport, and whereas the Kingsport Chamber is responsible for the economic empowerment of businesses across the Kingsport area, and whereas the Kingsport Chamber is intricately involved in projects to develop the city and promote community spirit, and they really do a great job of that. Fun Fest, everybody knows about Fun Fest. And whereas our city's growth over the past 8 decades is due in no small part to the Chamber's invaluable work as the voice and protector of Kingsport's businesses, and now therefore I, Patrick W. Shull, Mayor, City of Kingsport, and on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Alderman, the City of Kingsport, do hereby proclaim May 22nd, 2022 as Kingsport Chamber of Commerce Day in Kingsport, and encourage citizens to appreciate the Chamber's contribution to building our community. Signed this day by me, Patrick W. Shull, Mayor. And, you know, they have a very unique setup. They have a professional staff represented by Miles Burdine, who's the CEO of the Chamber. And then they have rotating presidents, and they have all kinds of, who's a business person, and all kinds of various committees, which are all important to what their total mission. And the person representing that side of the house is Ramona Jackson, who's the general manager of the Marriott Meadowview, they do a fabulous job. Listen, we have all kinds of conventions, and that's particularly the pandemic's getting past, but we have all kinds of conventions and things coming in, and it really is a good boost for Kingsport. So we got Trig Fagans here. You're getting big, man. But I tell you what, I also got this surprise here. Normally, when you give a key to the city, you give one to an individual who's made a tremendous contribution to the city. And not many people have this, because this is the highest award we can bestow from the city. So I had it engraved to the Kingsport Chamber of Commerce, and I figure that, Miles, you'll figure a good place to find a place for it. So I'll give it to Ramona. I'll give you the certificate, and introduce all the other folks here.
Nicole Austin, who's in
All right.
the membership department. Met Ramona. This is Higgs Fegans, who's the son of Bob Fegans. He's the future CEO of Kingsport.
And Bob Figgins. And you didn't have any other chamber guys here? Oh, Sharon with Keep Kingsport Beautiful. But
We've also got Larry Eastemps, our past board chair.
there you
Paul
go.
Montgomery,
There you
past
go.
board chair. And I venture to say every single one of these aldermen has served on something at the Kingsport Chamber.
And when Mary and I owned our business, we were chamber members. I mean, it's just a great organization. It really boosts the spirit and the cohesiveness of our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good job, Mayor.
Pretty rare that I get to speak at this point in the meeting, so it's always something special or an honor to be able to do so, to say the least. And Mike, I was talking to some of the board members before we got up here. It was a 4-3 vote as to whether or not we'd recognize you. And I went ahead and put it on the agenda anyway, so I wanted you to know that.
Thank you for the three that voted for me.
That's-
We love you, man. No problem about it.
So Mike has decided to retire from the city of Kingsport. He actually started work here on March 14th of 1994, and I was walking through the hallway on the second floor trying to get an idea of just who all you'd worked for. So you came here when Hunter Wright was mayor, is that right? And so you've worked for 6 mayors, 5 city managers, and I guess when you were interim, if you count yourself, you would have been, 6 city managers. So Mike also stepped up to the plate 2 different times in the history of Kingsport and really really helped us out by serving as the interim city manager, and both of those times were trying times within the city, but Mike did an outstanding job of just really bringing things together and allowing things to move forward. Mike and I started working together in 1997, and I have been able to watch Mike in various different roles, and he's been extremely instrumental in so many different things that we've been able to do. We mentioned Marriott, Meadowview. Ramona was here as part of the chamber, and Mike was extremely instrumental in that project. But in addition to that and all the things that Mike has done here in Kingsport, Tennessee, he's also been recognized and continues to be recognized across the state of Tennessee. Tennessee Municipal League, the Tennessee Municipal Attorneys Association, work with MTAS, the Chamber of Commerce, who he meets regularly with during the legislative session. And I can guarantee you right now, you probably talk to anybody in the Tennessee legislators in the Senate or the House, they're going to know who Mike Billingsley is and the work that he has done over the years representing the city of Kingsport. One thing is certain, Mike's tough. You knew that. I knew that the first day I came here, and I think everybody who's ever worked within the city of Kingsport knows that Mike's tough, but there's a reason why he is tough. He is going out every single day, and he's fighting for the city of Kingsport, for the citizens of Kingsport, and for the employees. And we respect that, and that's who we have wanted in that role. And I will tell you, he will be missed, but as we say here, when you get to this point in your career, you've earned it. Mike, you've definitely earned that. So at this point, it's become very customary for the city to provide departing members of our family with some tokens of appreciation. They're very small gestures, but we hope that it'll be something that the employee will remember over the years. So, Mike, I'll give you your nameplate. I'll ask you to keep that away from your wife.
Thank you. No. It is pretty heavy.
Yes. In addition to that, we have a certificate of appreciation for James Michael Billingsley for 29 years of outstanding service and contributions to the city of Kingsport, which is we presented on your final day with the city, which it will be the end of this month, and we greatly appreciate that and everything you've done. And then something that has become very, very popular, John Campbell, former city manager, actually started this, and it's something we've continued on for our employees as they leave. It is a watch. I won't go through the process of getting it out, but it's a watch. And on the face of the watch is the seal of the city. And the goal there is over their life of the retirement, they'll be able to remember the city, remember the family that we have here. We talk about that often. If you're part of our family, you know what I mean. And so, as we say, you'll be missed, but we hope you'll come back and visit often. So, Mike, I want to give this to you.
I'll wear it proudly.
I know you will, and I thank you so much. Thank you. And we're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
So the mayor, as well as Jim Welch, representing the school board, would like to make a few comments.
Okay. Do I get rebuttal?
Yes. At the end of the meeting, there'll be an opportunity for you to come to the podium.
I can go to the public comment section.
Yeah, you have 5 minutes.
Well, listen, I can't add too much to what Chris said, but you know, you have my total respect as an attorney. And there's, I believe between the mayor and the city manager, we really appreciate the role of the attorney because it keeps the city out of trouble, and you've done that. But Mike, you know, you and I are the same general age group, and I just value our friendship, you know, and you know this coin, it only goes to people who've really done something good for the city, and you've done nothing but good for the city. Thank you. So I'm going to bring on the school board president, because Mike does double duty. He is the city attorney for this side of the city, but also for the school board. So Jim Welch.
Thank you, Mayor. Mike, on behalf of the administration and the school board of the Kingsport City Schools, we give you the most gratitude imaginable that a person can have. Your counsel and advice and service to us over the years has been beyond what most people would ever think of rendering. And you've saved my tail more than once. I have a small token as a gift from the Kingsport City Schools.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is, let me introduce all these folks here. Pretty much all of them came, and I appreciate it. This is one of my paralegals, Liz Chico, who's been with us about 10 years, 11 years, 13 years. Close enough. This is my wife, Sheila, who's put up with me for all these years and has been instrumental. And by the way, we won the award one year for the garden award one year, but it was all her doing. I had nothing to do with it. But I will tell you that. Amy Deakins is another paralegal in the city attorney's office. Rochelle is the property acquisition agent. So when we buy property, she's the one that acquires it for us. She's also in the city attorney's office. This is my son Brian and his wife Natalie. Natalie's a teacher at Dobbins Bennett. She teaches physics, chemistry, and oceanography, probably some other things. This is my granddaughter, Callie, back here. Callie's a student at Washington School. My daughter, Karen, who is a teacher at Jackson School. We're all Kingsport people. The little guy back there is Nate, my grandson. He's a third grader at Washington. And their dad, Matt, my son-in-law. My other daughter, who lives down in Bradley County, who's just had a baby, can't be with us tonight, but she wants to be with us and appreciates it. And I really appreciate the gestures. I've had a great career here. I've worked with some wonderful people. Y'all have fantastic staff here. I told Chris this morning when I met with him, he's a great city manager, and y'all have a gem in him. I know you know that. And I appreciate every one of you. I think you're all doing an excellent job, and I wouldn't do what you do for anything, okay? But I appreciate your willingness to serve in the community and to take on sometimes the tough issues and to listen to people and to help people, and that's what we're all here for, to make this a better place for all of us to live. And Kingsport, although I didn't grow up here, I didn't come here till 1994, it is my home from now on. So I just want y'all to know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and Mr. City Manager.
All right, we'll move forward with the agenda. Our first item is an appointment to the Gateway Review Commission, and it's recommended that we move forward with the appointment of Curtis Montgomery. We'd ask that you approve this appointment, please.
And I want, for the record, I'm abstaining from this vote.
Okay, thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the Historic Zoning Commission appointment?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman. Is there a second?
Gateway Review Commission.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gateway. That's right. I got ahead of myself. Gateway. I'm sorry. But Alderman's motion does stand, as well as a second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0-1, meaning one abstention. Next item.
If it's okay with the board, I'd like to take the next two items jointly. The first one is an appointment to the Historic Zoning Commission, as recommended to reappoint Deneen West to the Historic Zoning Commission. And then the second appointment is an appointment to the Kingsport Economic Development Board. It's recommended to appoint Pat Breeding to fulfill the unexpired term of Larry Eastep. And so we'd ask the board to approve these appointments, please.
Before I proceed, since Mr. Eastep's in the audience, thank you very much, Larry, for your service. You've been a great help to this city for many years. Appreciate it. Is there a motion to approve these appointments? Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? They pass 7-0. Next item.
Next item is approval of minutes. We actually have 4 sets of minutes. The first is a work session on May 2nd, 2022, the business meeting on May 3rd, 2022, budget work session on May 9th, 2022, and a budget work session on May 12th, 2022. We'd ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
Thank you. 4 sets of minutes to be approved at once. Do I hear a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? They all 4 pass 7-0. Mr. City Manager, I guess we'll go into public hearings?
No
There
public
are
hearing,
none?
no public hearings tonight. Moving into the
Citizen
agenda.
comment. Okay. At this point in our proceedings, citizens may speak on an agenda item, only the items we vote on tonight. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. A total of 30 minutes is allocated for public comment during this part of the agenda. Let me pause for a second. If you want to talk about something that's not on the agenda, that's of civic interest, general civic interest, there's a portion later on in our proceedings where you can do that. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward and speak on an item pertaining to the agenda? If not, Mr. City Manager, please proceed.
All right, the first item we have is an ordinance to amend the fiscal 22 General Purpose School Fund and the General Project Fund budgets. This comes to us from the Kingsport City Schools. There are several items on here which we discussed last week during the presentation from David Fry regarding Kingsport City Schools FY23 budget. There's also items within this that will be addressed later in our agenda. With that, I'd ask that you all approve this ordinance to amend their budget, please.
Thank you. It's on first reading. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the general project purpose school fund and general project fund budgets for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2022, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Is there any discussion? Let me pause for a second and remind the audience that all these items we've been over in pretty good detail. First, the members of the board meet individually, one-on-one, with the city manager. Then we have a work session. We discuss the items, and by the time we get to this proceeding, we're pretty well familiar with them. See, did you publish it, Mr. Attorney?
Yes.
Okay, and there's been approved. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0.
Next item is an ordinance to amend the fiscal 22 schools federal projects fund budget. You'll see on the screen and in your agenda, this is for an increase in the budget of nearly $3 million. That makes a total amended adjustment to $25 million. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the FY 2022 budget of school federal grant projects fund budget and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is an ordinance to amend the fiscal 22 schools special projects fund budget. You see the item before you there. This is the budget that it deals with special grants, competitive grants, other funds from the state of Tennessee. There's a net increase in this project in the amount of $30,809. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the FY 2022 budget, special school projects fund budget and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a budget adjustment ordinance for various funds in fiscal 22. This comes from the city of Kingsport. Variety of things dealing with multiple departments, from leisure services with Base Mountain, farmers market, setting up various things for the SNAP program that we accept there, as well as moving some dollars around in public works for capital projects. And then the last, which is the urban mass transit, or CATS, setting that project up there. As I stated last night, speaking of CATS, they have begun work on the new garage there on Main Street. So that's one that we're glad to finally see moving. So with that being said, I ask you to approve this ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, just for our public's edification, we're getting close to the end of the fiscal year. It ends June 30th. So while these items involve a significant amount of money, what we're doing is fairly routine to help kind of close out the year.
That's exactly right. When you look over this agenda, there's a lot of items that are necessary as the fiscal year draws to a close. There's also going to be items within this agenda, as well as the ones coming up in June, that are setting the stage for various things the city will need to purchase in order to operate in fiscal 23.
Thank you. Good explanation. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30, 2022, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is an ordinance to vacate a portion of Legion Drive and Midland Drive right-of-way. This is near Dobbins-Bennett High School. We'd ask that you approve this on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. I'd remind the public, we have 3 ordinances coming up for a second reading that requires a roll call vote on our part. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to vacate a portion of public right-of-way along Legion Drive and Midland Drive situated in the city of Kingsport, 11th Civil District of Sullivan County, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper. Aye. Alderman Duncan. Aye. Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Ulterman.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is an ordinance to amend zoning of Sullivan County Tax Parcel ID 076001, located off Princeton Road, Newmore Road, and Sullivan Gardens Parkway from B4P Planned Business District to MX Mixed Use District. This comes to you on second reading. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to further amend the zoning code text and map to rezone property located along Princeton Road, Newmore Road, and Sullivan Gardens Parkway from B4P Planned to Business District to MX Mixed Use District in the 13th Civil District of Sullivan County to fix a penalty for the violation of this ordinance and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, I think Darrell beat you, Tommy. Second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper. Aye. Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Ulterman.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is an ordinance to amend zoning of parcels 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21, and a portion of parcel 2.10 located off Beartown Road and Deneen Lane from the A1 Agricultural District, P1 Professional Offices District, R3 Low Density Apartment District, and R1B Residential District to the M2 General Manufacturing District. This comes to you on second and final reading. We'd ask that you approve the ordinance, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to further amend the zoning code text and map to rezone property located along Beartown Road and Deneen Lane from R1B, P1, A1, and R3 districts to the M2 General Manufacturing District in the 12th Civil District of Sullivan County to fix a penalty for the violation of this ordinance and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Alderman Montgomery. Or did I get that reversed? Doesn't matter.
We'll share either way.
Sure. Is there any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper. Aye. Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Ulterman.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is a resolution awarding the proposal of Weststone Industries for services at Kingsport's construction and demolition landfill and authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for the same. This will provide services that will include delivery of clay for daily cover, grinding of wood waste, with the option for wood waste to be hauled off-site, along with the removal and disposal of tires. Good work done here by our staff to put this together, and we'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding the bid.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the proposal for selected services at the Kingsport Construction and Demolition Landfill to Weststone Industries and authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement for the same, and all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
If moved by Alderman Duncan, seconded by Alderman Alderman, any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an approval of offer for easement and right-of-way for the Reservoir Road Stormwater Improvements Project. You see the address and the owner listed there, along with the appraised value. We'd ask that you approve the offer.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, you've written me a note and says this requires only a motion, no resolution,
Correct.
which means you don't need to publish it?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Just motion, second, and vote.
And the next item after this is the same
Same one.
type of item.
Trying to get out of work on this last meeting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second by Alderman Alderman? Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an approval of offer for easements and right-of-way for the Stage Road Waterline Project. We ask that you approve the offers, please.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of asphalt for fiscal year '23. This will be on an as-needed basis. The way this is set up, it allows the city to purchase from 3 different entities, Summers & Taylor, Pavewell Paving, and WL Construction. And so we'd ask that you approve this resolution, please.
Mr. City Manager, this brings to mind that we're well in paving system, and I've noted a lot of progress just so far this spring.
Yes.
And that pavement is a diesel-based kind of product, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a petroleum-based
Yeah.
product, yeah. So it has the ability to fluctuate just as the gas prices do, so we watch that very closely. You'll see a lot of our bids be based upon that bituminous index that we
And
follow.
diesel's hit an all-time high nationwide
Yes, it
in
has.
price.
Yes.
So, it's different times we're in. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bids for the purchase of asphalt to Summers Taylor, Pavewell Paving Company, Inc., and WL Construction and Paving Company, Inc., and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution awarding the bids of Summers Taylor and Ready Mix USA for the purchase of concrete for fiscal '23. Again, purchase on an as-needed basis. We'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding the bids.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bids for the purchase of concrete to Summers Taylor and Ready Mix USA, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution awarding the bids of Vulcan Construction Materials, LP, and Blue Water Industries for the purchase of crushed stone for fiscal '23, again, on an as-needed basis, and this will be for all city departments as we do various construction or need this for fill over the course of the next fiscal year. So we'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding these bids, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bids for the purchase of crushed stone to Vulcan Construction Materials, LP, and Blue Water Industries, and authorizing the city manager to execute blanket purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by
The women.
Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next is consideration of a resolution and awarding the bids to JTB Construction LLC and Glass Machinery and Excavation for contracted truck hauling in fiscal '23. Again, this is for an item, a budgetary item going into next year. This is, I guess, probably the second or third year that we've done this, and we ask that you all approve the resolution awarding the bids, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bids for contracted truck hauling for fiscal year 2023 to JTB Construction LLC and Glass Machinery and Excavation, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to approve Sourcewell contract with Verizon Connect NWF, Inc. for GPS equipment and services. As we discussed last night, and as you all have been aware, this is a project that really kind of ties into some of the smart cities work that we have, as well as just safety and security for our vehicles. I see Steve Leonard back there, our fleet manager. Appreciate the work that he's done with it on this to get us to this point. As in the past, we've been kind of scattered with multiple providers and really not having all of the vehicles covered. And so we appreciate the work to kind of get this under one umbrella. So, Mayor, we'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding the bid, please.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, please publish the item.
A resolution
City
authorizing.
Attorney.
Pardon me, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Verizon Connect NWF, Inc. for GPS equipment and services utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement K020221 GPS services for use by the Fleet Maintenance Department.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is a resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of tire recapping services to Southern Tire Mart. Again, this is an item that's coming to us from our fleet department for the fiscal '23 budget. We'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding the bid, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
Resolution awarding the bid for tire recapping services to Southern Tire Mart and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to approve change order number 1 for the J. Fred Johnson Stadium lighting upgrade project and to authorize the mayor to execute all documents necessary. As you all know, earlier this fiscal year, the Kingsport City Schools received a gracious donation. Multiple things that donation did. One of the things requested was the lighting upgrades within J. Fred Johnson Stadium. This will allow another component of that request from that donation, which will be uplighting on all of the poles. This comes to us from the school board, who voted in favor of moving forward with this, and we'd ask that you approve the resolution to approve this change order, please.
And the donor wishes to remain anonymous.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I would thank him or her on behalf of the city, because this was very generous. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving change order number 1 to the agreement with Kingsport Armature and Electric Company for the J. Fred Johnson Stadium lighting upgrade project and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the change order.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the vice mayor, seconded by Alderman. Any discussion?
I've already got my communication from the DB about season tickets for this next football season, so I hope they get these lights up in time.
I'd like to say too that this is a generous
Thing to do.
gift.
Yeah,
I'd like to say that.
yeah,
Go on the record as saying that.
we all appreciate it. And gee, these lights are going to be so good, you could probably read the little name in the back of their shirt, huh?
No doubt.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to approve Addendum 7 to the ESS South Central LLC Substitute Staffing Services Contract for the Kingsport City Schools and authorizing the mayor to sign all applicable documents. This is an agreement that we've had for a little over 2 years now, and it comes to us from the Kingsport City Schools, and we'd ask that you approve the resolution for this addendum.
Apparently, Mr. Welch left, but the school system has told us that they always are looking out for people that wish to substitute and raising the substitute pay for effective the next school year coming up in the fall. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving an amendment to the Substitute Staffing Services Agreement with ESS South Central LLC for Kingsport City Schools and authorizing the mayor to execute the amendment and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the amendment.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to accept a donation of AWE Early Literacy Computer for the Kingsport Public Library. This comes to us as a gift from the Friends of the Kingsport Public Library, which we greatly appreciate. The donation totals a little over $3,400. So we'd ask that you approve the resolution accepting this donation, please.
Thank you, and we appreciate their donation. And in fact, they've made some other donations during this calendar year, and so that's a very benevolent thing to do. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution accepting a donation of an AWE Early Literacy Computer from the Friends of the Library, Kingsport Public Library.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? And thank you, Alderman Cooper, for serving on the Library Committee. If no discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the purchase of 5 dump trucks pursuant to the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement number 060920-NAF. These are replacement vehicles. They will be put in use by Public Works Grounds Maintenance, Water, and Wastewater Maintenance. Again, we ask that you approve this resolution authorizing this purchase.
Are you guys smiling in the back?
I think they're going to be getting these. Steve over there is smiling because.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Velocity Truck Center through National Auto Fleet Group utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement number 060920-NAF for 5 dump trucks for the Public Works, Grounds Maintenance, and Water and Wastewater Maintenance Departments.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion?
Is there a time lag on getting dump trucks? I mean, I know in some of the things we order, there is a shortage and you have to wait, but when we're doing it through here, is there a lag time?
Steve, what's the delivery time?
Delivery time, we're hoping to have these, trucks to Velocity by December, and I'm looking for an additional, probably 3 or 4 months to actually get the beds and like that. I've waited as long as I could, as far as trying to wait for the right time to do, and prices kept going up,
So yes, there is a little bit more delay.
So basically it's gonna, you said you'd get them by December and then fit them out, so I mean, it's almost a
6
year
or 9
time
months.
to.
pickup truck right now, I'm waiting a year for a Ford Ranger, so.
Really?
That's what, yeah, I knew everything was back ordered, and I didn't know how far in advance we were having to, you're having to plan for some of this. Well, thank you.
We're waiting 6 months on just a car. And that's a $500 deposit.
Good.
Never dreamed of it.
Any further discussion on this particular item? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is to authorize the mayor to execute a notice of approval pursuant to the notice of the land use restrictions. This has to do with property located on 400 Clinchfield Street, which was formerly owned by Quebecor. As I mentioned yesterday during our work session, this is a process that we go through in order to notify and receive approval from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. When this is done, we'll be able to use this space for DBXL. This is a process we've gone through multiple times in the past. It does require board action for us to submit this, and so we'd ask that you approve the resolution authorizing us to submit.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
Pursuant to notice of land use restrictions on property formerly owned by Quebecor.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution renewing the award of the bid for the school crossing guard services and authorizing the mayor to sign all applicable documents. This is with CrossSafe, who we have used for some time now as part of our crossing guard service. This is a situation where funding is moved from Kingsport City Schools over to the police department, which administers it. There is an increase in this of 5.75%, which represents a consumer price index increase. So we'd ask that you approve the resolution, please.
I guess I never asked this question. Chief, does your department oversee their performance of their duties? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
Amending the agreement for school crossing guards with CrossSafe and authorizing the mayor to sign the amendment for the same and all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we now move into the consent agenda. There are 10 items on the agenda. I will read through each one of those. If you'd like one pulled for additional information, please let me know. First is a resolution extending the award of the bid for the school nutrition services, chicken commodity processing to Tyson Prepared Foods for the fiscal 23, and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary and proper for the same. Second item is a resolution extending the award of bid for school nutrition services, produce items to Crook Brothers for fiscal 23, and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary and proper for the same. Third item is a resolution authorizing the execution of an amendment to the agreement with Gordon Food Service for grocery and beverage items to extend the award of bids for fiscal 23. The fourth item is a resolution accepting a grant from Battelle Memorial Institute for the Kingsport City Schools and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary and proper for the same. Fifth item is a resolution accepting a grant from the Easement Foundation for Kingsport City Schools. Sixth item is a resolution extending the award for the bid of school nutrition services, chicken commodity processing to Gold Creek Foods for fiscal 23 and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary and proper for the same. Seventh item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement with the town of Mount Carmel for the city of Kingsport to provide residential automated garbage collection. The eighth item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an annual renewal of the public library service agreement with the Tennessee State Library and Archives for services via Holston River Regional Library. Ninth item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the host facility agreement for the 13th annual World's Largest Swim Lesson. And the 10th item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary to apply for and receive Department of Justice Office and Justice Programs Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership Reimbursement Grant. We'd ask that you approve these items as presented unless you'd like one pulled for additional clarification.
Mr. City Manager, before I proceed, I'm going to ask you to, and you do this for us periodically, but explain to our public what's different about a consent item versus the other type items we addressed.
Well, we have now added that to the agenda. So it states, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered in the ordinary course of business by the Board of Mayor and Alderman, and will be acted on in one motion. However, discussion is desired by a member of the board be removed from the consent agenda for separately. They are typically items that are on here that require board action, but they're able to be done so. They could be a renewal of a contract, they could be the extension of a contract, various things that would rise up to that level. Items like the resolution for the annual renewal of the public library, that's been on the agenda for a decade or more, and so it just comes back. And so
Kind of a continuation of business.
continuation, these are sometimes your maintenance items, you're a little bit more utilitarian. Now, they don't have to appear on here, but just for the ease of moving through the agenda, they do.
Thank you. Are there any board members that would wish to consider any of these items separately? If not, do I hear a motion to approve all 10?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with all 10 items as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved by the vice mayor, second.
Second all 10 of them.
Yes, sir. Seconded by Alderman. Is there any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye to all 10.
Alderman Duncan,
Aye to all.
Vice Mayor George,
Aye to all.
Alderman Montgomery,
Aye to all.
Alderman Alterman,
Aye to all.
Alderman Phillips,
Aye to all.
Mayor Schul.
Aye to all 10 items, therefore all 10 items pass unanimously. Mr. City Manager.
All right, that completes the items on the business agenda. We'll move into communications. And again, I just want to remind everybody about Public Works Day coming up on Friday from 10 to 2. Always a great event and always a very well-attended event. So as the Vice Mayor stated, it's kids of all ages. But I will state today we were at a ribbon cutting for General Dynamics. And even in that process of that ribbon cutting, the Public Works Day and the opportunity to see the trucks was brought up by the folks there. So very popular event, something I'm very pleased that we do, and I'm glad to be doing again. Second thing I'll mention is just kind of echo what the mayor said earlier about this being National Police Week. We greatly appreciate all of our officers, the work that they do. Last Friday, many of us attended the memorial service we have each year for fallen officers. Always a very moving service, always one that is very well done. Appreciate the kind remarks and the meaningful remarks that Chief Phipps made on behalf of the Kingsport Police Department, and appreciate everybody that was able to attend that. Want to recognize and highlight for just a second the work that is done by our communication team. I see Matthew sitting in the back, of course Adrian, who is here for each of the meetings. If you want to know what's going on in Kingsport, we are pumping out information on a daily basis. I've lost track of the number of consecutive days that a press release has gone out from the communications department about things that we are doing. And so I encourage everyone, if you want to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, updates on projects, get yourself plugged in to either our website. You can also from there launch off to our social media sites. And then every Wednesday we have a full page in the Kingsport Times News that goes into detail about stuff that we are doing. So a lot of positive things, a lot of momentum within the city of Kingsport, and that information is being pushed out there regularly. And we hope people will take time to seek that out and find that. Last but not least, just again want to extend my congratulations to Mike Billingsley on his upcoming retirement, and I've enjoyed working with Mike. Like I said, I started in 1997. Mike started in 1994, and it's just during that time, a lot of things, a lot of changes have occurred with the city, and Mike has been there for all of them. I guess probably one of the more memorable moments that I've had with Mike Billingsley in a board meeting had to do when we had to make a correction to an ordinance, which meant that Mike was going to have to read the entire ordinance. And Mike came to me and he said, Chris, I just don't know that I can get through this ordinance. It was multiple pages. And so we set it up so that Mike could record himself reading the ordinance. And we then hit play, and I think some people in the audience thought he was a ventriloquist that night, but appreciate everything that Mike has done. You know, and as Mike said, he and I met today, regularly scheduled meeting. Mike's last day is still a little over a week and a half away, and Mike's still working on contracts and still working on trying to get things done. So appreciate his dedication to the city of Kingsport tremendously. So, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. That was a lot. www.kingsporttn.gov. And there's another one. This is kingsport.com. And there's a pavekingsport.com. So there's all this information out there. All you got to do is access it. Let's see. I start with Alderman Duncan today.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and congratulations to Mike for his service to the city. 29 years is a long time. We really appreciate it. Had an opportunity to meet most of his family here tonight, and his grandson's kind of partial to visiting capitals in different states. So I think he kind of put the pressure on him going to Santa Fe this year, maybe. So. But congratulations to him, and Bart's going to do a great job as he steps in too. So congratulations to Bart as well. Also, Visit Kingsport had a successful Racks by the Tracks this weekend. James was in charge of the weather this year. He kind of changed roles this year, and he done really a great job on the weather, and we really appreciate that. So there was thousands of people that really was out and enjoyed. Clet and I had the opportunity to work. And Tommy was there, Betsy was there, the city manager was there, and so there's just a lot of people there. It was a fabulous day, and we welcomed many people to our city. So, Loft Tours are Saturday from 2 to 5, featuring 6 downtown lofts that have outdoor space downtown. This event is sponsored by DKA. You can go to their website and get tickets, and you can get them in advance. It's a little cheaper, so look forward to that. So. That's all I've got.
That's it. Thank you, Daryl. Ms. Betsy?
I was just going this Thursday is the last day of school, and as a retired teacher, I think it's in my DNA to be excited when the last day of school comes, even though I've been retired for several years. Public Works Day is Friday, and then Loft Tours are Saturday. There's something almost every day that is happening around Kingsport. So just take your initiative to be informed, to see what's happening. It's an exciting time in the late spring and the summer of all the things that are going on. Also, the archives is in the process of moving to from the library to the fifth floor. And so pretty soon, I think they're unpacking. I think the moves actually happened last week, but they're unpacking. And so pretty soon you'll be able to go up there and see the displays, and it also frees up space in our library. So that was a win for both, for the library and for the archives, to get such a pretty space in the City Hall. So look for an open house, I bet, when the archives finally open. So, and check out all the neat things that are happening this spring and summer and all this beautiful Northeast Tennessee weather.
Is that it?
That's
Thank
it.
you. But you brought up something maybe we'll get the city manager to explain further. But as you come into this city hall, there are signs at the door areas that show where the different departments are located, what floor they're on. And Mr. City Manager, if they need to go above the second floor, you have a system where they get a pass, right?
That's correct. They can simply come to the information kiosk on the first floor, get a pass to go upstairs for whatever department they need to visit. As soon as archives gets fully open, though I'm sure there'll be folks wanting to come in. It's very simple to pick that up and head upstairs.
The pass activates the elevator to allow
Yes.
you to go up to your floor. So we're not trying to keep anybody out. We're just trying to keep the area reasonably secure. So thank you for that explanation. Alderman Montgomery.
Keeping with my past experience with the schools, I want to extend congratulations to all the seniors that are graduating this week and everyone that's transitioning from one building to the next building. This is transition year, so congratulations to the students and parents, and best wishes to all. Mike, congratulations on your retirement. We're going to miss you here, and I'm sure that you'll have opportunity to rethink what you said earlier and decide to run for alderman at some point in time. The other thing I want to say to Chief Phillips and your team, thank you for all of your service, and thank you for this National Week that we have to recognize you guys, and Blue Lives Matter. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, Alderman Phillips.
Well, I also would like to thank Mike for his service. The first time I met Mike was in traffic court. I won't let you know which one of us was in the audience and which one was doing the prosecuting. But I'm actually surprised that Secretary of State Trey Hargett didn't send anything down. Are we expecting that to come? Like a little retirement gift?
I'm sure we are.
Okay, I thought we might. But my favorite moment with Mike, when Chris said this, it got me thinking, is in the last year when we started talking about TCRS retirement, I think about that at least once a week and laugh to myself. There has never been, Mike is even killed, but it was like somebody lit a firecracker under him that day. I love it. I laugh all the time. And Daryl, thanks for mentioning racks. It was a great weekend. I was telling Daryl the other day, when I was in charge of the festival for 12 years, it rained 10. So this was my first year not in charge, and it was the best weather we've ever had. So it's probably my fault, but I'm glad to shift into being in charge of weather. It seems like I'm doing a better job at that. So it was really wonderful. I know we raised a lot of good money for a lot of nonprofits. One of those being the chamber that was here today, bringing 10,000 people into downtown, never hurts. And so I think a lot of businesses see residual off of that. And so it was a really, really wonderful Saturday. I was really happy with the event. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is I feel like since we had our last meetings to go over the budget, it just seems every day you're seeing a new article about another city in this region who is having to address pay issues. And we are not unique in that situation. Anybody's trying to figure out how they can deal with those issues. We had a thing tonight that talked about, the substitute teachers. We're having to address pay issues with that. And, we have a vote on a potential 12-cent tax increase coming up. And the bottom line is for me, is with our employees. I mean, we recognize the public works people here tonight. If we don't take care of our employees here, we are going to be in a real bad situation, because we are going to lose the experience and the knowledge that these people have for working here for many, many years. And the citizens of this city expect a certain level of service. And if we can't fill those positions because we don't have good pay, we're not going to be able to provide that service. And so I just, I appreciate everything they've done. And I just, that's the only thing, I don't think I've heard too many complaints, but I think, we've got to address pay, and I think we're doing a good thing with that. That's it.
Okay, thank you, James. Tommy?
I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Dennis Phillips for taking the role on as the chairman of this new,
The CEO
the CO
of the hub.
of the hub. And I would beg the citizens of Kingsport to listen to Dennis, because he has a lot of experience, and he can bring a lot to this battle that he's going to have. It's not going to be easy, but if there's any one man in this town that can pull it together, I believe he's the man. So I'd just like to wish Dennis all the luck in the world, because he's the type of person that we need to lead the battle. And And therefore, I'm for him 100%.
Okay. I know
So
he
if there's
appreciates
anything I
that.
can do for him, that's it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Vice Mayor?
I do want to thank Chris and the city for all the information on the budget and doing all the presentations. I think we had some excellent discussion, and I think we all feel that we're at a good place if we can do the 12-cent increase to cover the salaries, and I feel very comfortable with moving forward. But thank you guys for all the work you did and going back and showing us how it affected and going through everything. Want to mention, I know everybody's touched on some of the things coming up for events going on. Fun Fest has announced its lineup, and those dates are out there. We'll have the downtown Kingsport or downtown concerts coming up starting very soon. The Axemen, I think we just got tickets. I don't know when their first game is.
June 2nd.
June 2nd. So
Home
we've
game.
got the home games for the Axemen coming up. We have Bays Mountain does still have, they've got their summer camps, and a lot of them are already full, but there's still some slots open in some of the summer camps. So if you're interested, if you're kids getting out of school, you've got to start thinking pretty quick to get in some of these camps. So that needs to start working on that. I do congratulate Mike for leaving us, and he's, if he doesn't run for alderman, there is a slot, I'm sure, on county commission, and they could certainly use your expertise. And then the only last other thing, my mother's 84th birthday is tomorrow, so if you see Valerie, wish her a happy birthday.
You're gonna go swimming tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll be doing probably the swim lessons. So,
Okay. Is that it?
that's it, that's all I've
Thank
got.
you. Okay, it's my turn. The city manager mentioned that we had a very moving ceremony to recognize our police force and the fallen officers from the past who lost their lives in the line of duty. And I got to pat the fire department on the back too, because they had displayed a really big American flag coming off one of the fire engines, and a huge wind came up, and Chief Boyd, I guess it required about 5 men and a big dog to hold that flag down, but we appreciate y'all doing that, because it did add to the ceremony. That and the taps and everything was beautiful. I'd like the citizens to know that, you've followed us in the paper the last few weeks, because we've had some very intense meetings about the budget. And we're here to answer your questions, and if the board doesn't know the right answer right away, that the city staff, city manager, and his excellent folks can help us get the right answer to you. But just to remind you, we have to pass a budget, a balanced budget, in 2 readings by June 30th to have the budget go in effect for the first day of July, which is the beginning of the new fiscal year. And finally, let's see, Bart Rowlett, raise your hand or something, Bart. Bart is our attorney that's going to take over for Mike. Bart, you learned from the best, and the torch is soon to be passed to you. And we wish you all the luck in the world, but I think you'll do fine. But Mike, I'm going to miss you, old friend. It's been quite a ride, and we appreciate everything you've done. And with that, we've come to the portion of the meeting where citizens may speak on issue-oriented items. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward to address the board on an item of civic interest? If not, we're adjourned.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the Kingsport BMA meeting. This program has been a production of the City of Kingsport in cooperation with Milligan Productions, Milligan University, and Charter Communications. For more information, visit kingsporttn.gov.